Hello friends, welcome to our gaming channel, Mary Joan. This is our first video in this channel, and in this video we are taking you friends a walkthrough about the game called Mobile Legends and the basic knowledge about it.
Welcome to Mobile Legends!
So what exactly is this Mobile Legends, or ML in short? This game is actually a 5 vs 5 MOBA game, that is multiplayer online battle arena game in which two teams of different characters compete heart to heart with the goal of protecting their home base and their turret, at the same time destroying the enemy's home base, turrets or other structure of opposing teams' strongholds. While playing, always keep in mind that this game can only be won by taking the enemy's base, and always aim for that rather than fighting each other like noobs. So this is the starting page of the ML, and now first itself I will take you friends a walkthrough about the different hero roles available in the ML. As you can see, tank role, the fighter, assassins, mage, marksman and the support. Now let's take a detailed walkthrough about the tank class. As a tank player, the main role is to protect the ally mates with low armor or low health class, especially the marksman and mages. And as a pro tank player, always make ensure to dive in and take the incoming damage, survive on that, protect your ally damage dealer by your tank crowd controlling skills. And here you can see this is the Gatoka tank crowd controlling skill. And as a good tank player, always make ensure that you are the target of the incoming attacks. And you can also play as a DPS, that is damage per second, via choosing the right equipment with the tanks. Usually tanks have high hit points, high health, come defense, but low damage. And until now we are having 19 tank heroes in the ML. Next we have the fighter class, and fighters are type of role that has semi-combination of characteristics of tank and an assassin. They act like semi-tank and a damage dealer because of their durability and damage, and they are usually close range combatants. This class is versatile depending on team lineup, and they are mostly used in soloing a lane or in accompanying an ally, and they can serve as a multi-purpose combatant such as semi-tank, crowd controller, tank or assassins, which differs usually from the builds. And until now we are having 30 fighter heroes in Mobile Legends. Now moving on to our next class, that is the assassins. Basically, assassins are the mobile agile champions whose main priority is to eliminate the key enemy targets. Basically, their targets are the enemies, mid lane carry or the main damage dealers. Also the roaming targets, which they ambushes them when they try to replenish their HP. Basically, these assassins are the opportunistic hunters who specializes in positioning and artful killing, and they only strike when the moment is right, not sooner, not later. By eliminating the sources of high damage output, an assassin team can easily overpower the enemy's team in 5 vs 4 scenarios. And I personally recommend assassin to experienced players in rank mode, as they have low HP with high burst damage, which is ideal to take out the squishy opponents easily, such as the enemy MM and the mages, but at the same time easy to get killed due to the bad positioning and the bad timing. And until now we are having 18 assassin heroes in the Mobile Legends. Now moving on to our next class, which is the mage class, and as a mage player, your job is mainly to lane in early game and hunt enemies in the later game. On the whole, a mage, a magic damage dealer job is to poke enemies, kill enemies and to lane. As a mage player, always try to accompany the tank or fighter, as they are the squishy and their damage is not their basic attack, instead they have the crowd control abilities with burst damage. As an experienced mage player, always your main priority is to eliminate the enemy marksman, thus making our ally marksman to far more, which will increase the chance to win the last game. And until now in the Mobile Legends, we are having 25 mage heroes. Now our next class, which is the marksman or the MM class, and they are kind of role that has high attack damage, critical and a distance player, and they are basically the late gamers in a team. If you are a good player, you should rely on tank, support your tank heroes, and always be smart to keep the distance with the enemy heroes of the opponent, cause are basically the squishy heroes cause of their low durability and their mobility. While using this type of heroes, always go with the gears which increases your attack speed and critical damage, causing addition to kill the enemy. They can also easily take out the towers quickly. They are basically referred as the ADC heroes, that is attack damage and carry players, and they always plays an important role by taking out the enemies from distance. And until now we are having 16 heroes in the Mobile Legends. Now moving on to our final class, which is the support class. And as a support player, your role is to aid and protect your allies in any situation. As a pro support player, you should always tanking by taking the damage by sacrificing yourself to keep the other damage dealers alive, shield them and heal them. Support heroes usually lane with the fighters in the top or at the mid lane with the mages in order to travel quickly wherever they needed, and until now we are only having 10 support heroes in the Mobile Legends. Now I will introduce you friends about the different game modes available in ML, and the first mode is the classic mode where you can 5 vs 5 without worrying about losing rank, but always think your win rate of your heroes gets affected and as a whole. Well, I recommend this mode for the beginners who need to familiarize with the heroes competing against the other real-time online players. Here, you can choose any heroes you have with the weekly free heroes and the trial cards given by the ML. And this is a great mode to play more relaxed or improve skills using the new heroes. Next, our mode is the rank mode. And this mode can only be unlocked if you have 5+ heroes and if you reach level 8. This mode is actually a competitive seasonal game mode which runs for 3 months, where you will be placed in one of the 7 divisions in ranked game based on your skills, and higher you reach in the divisions, the better will be your rewards in the end of the season. The 7 divisions are the Warrior, Elite, Master, Grandmaster, Epic, Legend and the Mythic, and the highest of all of them is the Mythical Glory players. Here, players will be matched to opponents and allies that have similar or nearing rank division, and once you win, you will be awarded with 1 star, and if you lose, will deduct your 1 star. Basically, ranks are the grading system in ML that determines how proficient and experienced the player is. Next, our mode, which is the Brawl mode. In this mode, we are unable to choose the heroes freely, and we will be getting choices between 2 random heroes. This mode contains only 1 line and 2 turrets defending their base in both teams respectively. This type of mode match is best for raising your credit score because of the shorter time period compared to the rank and the classic mode. The next mode, which is the VS AI, and as the name suggests, in this mode the player have to play 5 vs 5 just like the other modes, but you will be competing against the computer controlled opponents, that is AI, which stands for Artificial Intelligence Team driven by the computer to fight against. Usually this mode can be used as a training ground to play or try out new heroes without losing your game statistics and your hero win rate, and thanks to the ML, we will get battle points after successful completion of the VSAI game. Moving on to our next mode, which is the custom mode, which is similar to the VSAI mode, and the difference is that player can set themselves up against other player or against AI. Player can invite friends to join or add AI with existing button, and also players can add AI to the opposing team or on your team, and you also play along with an AI. This mode is mainly used to fight against your friends or against any random real-time online game players in order to show your skills and power to them. And also this mode can be used if you are a YouTuber, moreover experimenting item builds, hero skills, etc. Now moving on to the last and final mode, we have the arcade mode that can time to time playable during special events, holidays and occasion that Mobile Legends brings. This mode features strategy based sub-games, and we will be making a separate video regarding this as there are so many mini games available. And stay tuned for more of our videos, and always and please do remember to like and subscribe our channel. Without you friends, we won't be anything. Now I will take you friends a walkthrough about the creeps and the jungle areas in Mobile Legends. Basically, the jungle area refers to any area on map that is not a lane or part of either stream base including the river and divides it. Junglers, which are basically assassins and rely on killing the neutral mobs or creeps in the jungle area to keep up with the laning teammates in terms of gold and experience. And please folks, this game is not a farm valley only relying on jungling and making this game useless. So please try to make efficient use of jungle creeps accordingly. The purpose of jungling, or otherwise known as the farming, gives attribute to the different buffs such as the gold buff, healing buff, basic attack buff and the blue buff. The creeps are basically classified into three as common, elite and the legend. Common creeps gives a medium buff such as healing buff and gold buff. Elite creeps gives a rod buff that increases the hero's attributes, and the legend creeps gives higher HP and always spawns in the river. Now, under the common creep, we have 4 such creep which I'll be explaining you friends in detail. First, we have the Litho Wanderer, which won't be attacking us and gives us nearby allies and minions regeneration effect once it is being killed. As you friends can see, it is allying me and also my allied minions. Next, we have the Scale Lizard, which really don't give us any buff aside from the little gold and a healing buff. Next, we have the Crammer, which also doesn't give any buff aside from the little gold and the healing buff, just like the Scale Lizard. But after killing the Crammer, it will turn into a little Crammer that can survive up to little time. Both the Crammer and the Scale Lizard is essential to clear from time to time, and the good players usually clear jungle camp once they push off the enemy turret and is far away from his tower in order to generate more gold than a player that stays on his lane. Next, we have the Rockersa, which actually have the same attributes as the previously explained creeps, that is Scale Lizard and the Crammer. Now, moving on to the final common creep, we have the Crab, and this creep gives us gold buff which provides an extra gold every second for a limited time. Little crabs usually appear first and then the main crab. Now, moving on to the allied creeps, we have Serpent and the Fiend. These creeps usually spawn after 30 seconds of the game and 2 minutes after they are slain. On most circumstances, these creeps can be killed by solo player with efficient jungle items. Serpents are usually the duo monsters, which gives more gold and blue buff. Basically, blue buff reduces all the skills countdown by 10%, mana cost by 40% and the energy cost by 25% for the next 120 seconds. And I recommend this buff for the assassins, meta mages and the fighters who engages in the fights most frequently. And over here you can see after taking the blue buff there is a reduction in the cooldown and the skill of the hero. Next, our final allied creature, which is Fiend, which is located on the right side of the map, almost on the bottom lane near the second turret, and by killing it, which gives you gold and the red buff. Once you gain the red buff, in next 120 seconds, each time the killer attacks the enemy heroes, the Soul of Lava gained from the buff attacks the enemy once when the damage is dealt for the 1 second, and it is based on the hero classes and the damage also differs. And I recommend this buff to the fighters and the semi-tanks who deal massive amount of damage while on the team fight. And always remember to buy the efficient jungle item before you are going to farm, so that you can take the creeps and the monsters easily. Now, moving on to the legendary creeps, which are most difficult to kill, but once killed, they always grant the entire team with gold and experience boost. Hence, always remember to take out the legendary creep as a team in early games. And under this, we have Cryo Turtle, basically known as the Turtle. They spawns within the next 3 minutes in the game time, and once killed, they reward all teammates with the gold and experience. And the last hitter, that is the killer of the turtle, gets the turtle buff. The turtle buff helps the killer to gain a shield that can absorb up to 400 damage when the killer doesn't take any damage in the next 5 seconds. And also, the shield can increase the killer's physical attack by 20 and the magical power by the 25%. Next, we have the last and final jungle creep, which is the Sanctuary Lord, or simply called as the Lord. He spawns within the next 9 minutes of the game starting, and he is the toughest of the three to get killed. So I always recommend to do the team fight while taking the load. Once he is defeated, he rewards the player with good amount of gold and the experience. At the same time improves the experience of the minions too. Once defeated, Lord will respawn and fight alongside the team that defeated him, thus making 6 vs 5 fight. At the 12th minute, Lord gains an ability where he can launch towards an enemy turret nearby and deals 100% true damage to it. If your friends are an efficient jungler, at the same time knows to use the buff accordingly, the game is always yours. And always think this game is not about farming or fighting each other, but taking the enemy's base, and always your main priority is to destroy the enemy's base. And this is all there in this video. Detailed videos will be coming soon only if your friends give us a good support by subscribing and kindly press the like button and share, so that we will make so many interesting and knowledgeable contents about this game in the upcoming days. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time to watch this video, and always remember, life is fun.